So we are going to start this evening with a nigun. You don't have to open your book quite yet. We begin our service with the lighting of the Shabbat candles on page 121, or on the slide you are looking at. It's my pleasure to invite Karen Bressler and Janice Fontano, and we are on page 120/121.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Amen. Thank you. And as we continue with getting into the Shabbat spirit, we are in a slightly different kind of spirit. We are in Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy. And with our joy comes a little bit of levity, God willing, and also a little bit of a transition for us in terms of navigating our technology and doing so without the help of Rick, who's always our go-to. So I thank you. In times of joy, we share gratitude, and so I want to thank you as we find our way through this new time for us. So we are going to continue with words of joy on page 130 with words of Lechu Neranana. Let us sing out with joy. On page 131 with the words Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. Shabbat spirit, we welcome the Shabbat bride on page 138 with Lecha Dodi. risen as we turn to 146 for the words of Baruch Hu. Please be seated. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. We are on page 158 for the words of Mi Chamocha. Page 160. Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. continue with our tefillah, with our prayer, so core to us. It needs no name. We pause before we rise to think about the prayers we need to say this evening. And when you are ready, please rise as we continue with Adonai Svatai on page 164. Adonai Svatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevid Geulah Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atal hachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please take a few moments for your own silent prayer. You can do so standing, or if you'd like to take a seat, you're more than welcome to do so. This is one of my favorite stories to tell during Sukkot. It is a harvest holiday story. And it's about two siblings, farmers who tilled the field that they had inherited from their family. The younger brother was unnamed, and his name was Rotem. And he lived alone at one end of the field. And the sister was named Yonah, and she lived with her wife and 4 children on the other side of the field. And they worked the field together. They loved each other very much, and they plowed and they planted and they harvested their wheat, and they shared equally the fruits of their labor. One night during the harvest, Rotem was laying down to sleep, but his thoughts were troubled. "Here I am," he said, "all alone, no partner, no children. I don't have to feed anybody or clothe anybody or pay for their tuition for college. I just don't have anybody else to take care of but myself. And yeah, I'm getting the same amount as my sibling. This just doesn't seem quite right. I think that we probably should divide equally because we should divide it so that she can take care of her family and the more people that are in her home." And so what he did is at midnight, he woke up. With the dark of night, all he could see was the moon. And he took some of his hay and his wheat and any other things that he had harvested, and he kind of gathered them up like this and really sneakily got to the other side of the field and put his harvest with his sisters. That same night, Yonah was thinking to herself, rolling in her bed, she just could not sleep. She thought, "Here I am, surrounded by my partner and surrounded by my children who will take care of me. But what happens if my brother gets sick? Who will take care of him in his old age? He needs so much more than I could ever need, and he needs to start preparing. He needs to start saving up in his 401k or whatever they used back then. And so I just need to give him more of the harvest than what I need." And so she, in the middle of the night, right around midnight or so, all she could see was the moon. She grabbed all of her harvest, she kind of held it all together, and she went really sneakily, really quiet, and put her harvest with her brothers. And the next day came, and Rotem got up and Yonah got up, and they both looked at their piles and they're like, "How could this be? I woke up in the middle of the night. I know I'm very tired, and there's still the same amount of wheat and hay and all of the things that we harvested. This just doesn't quite make sense." And so they were like, "I know what I'll do. It must have been so minuscule. I must have not even taken that much, and that's why it just looks like it's the same amount. I know what I'll do. I'll wake up tomorrow, or this evening, take even more, a double portion, just to make sure that my sibling has what they need." So same thing happened. The night came, and Rotem and Yonah both gathered their harvest, and they snuck over to the other side and put it over on their sibling's harvest pile. And then the other sibling did the same exact thing at the same exact time, and they woke up and it was the same amount, and they're like, "Oh my goodness. I must have been really tired last night when I did that. I could have sworn that I really did a lot more than what I did, but you know what, I'm gonna get a wagon and I'm gonna pull over like 3 times as much." You know, siblings, sometimes when you spend enough time with somebody, then you end up thinking the exact same thing. And you couldn't have planned it, but it just kind of happened. So they both got their wagons from their opposite sides of the field, and they filled their wagons with plenty of harvest so that they could make sure that their sibling had enough to eat and enough to take care of themselves and their households. And they woke up middle of the night, midnight, all they could see was the moon, and they're both sneakily walking. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the field, they're busy looking over at the moon, noticing how beautiful the harvest moon is, and then it's like me and the microphone. They just couldn't help it. They ran into one another, and they're like, what in the world? What are you doing up? And then Rotem was like, well, I wanted to make sure that you had enough food for you and your family. You need to take care of so many more people than I do, so I just decided to bring more harvest to you. And Yonah was like, oh my goodness, I was thinking that you're all by yourself. What in the world? And at that moment, they just felt so much love and so much gratitude for each other that they embraced. And according to some, that place where they embraced was actually the place where the temple was built. That place was the holiest place in all of the land, where brothers and sisters and siblings of all sorts came together to take care of one another. So as we celebrate this Zman Simchatenu, this time of true joy, we celebrate how holy joy is through expressing gratitude and through sharing with one another. And to this we say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. So we transition from Shabbat stories to thinking of those who are in need of healing, healing of body, healing of spirit, healing of soul. If you are thinking of somebody who is in need of healing, for those of our friends who are on Zoom, please feel free to type their names in the chat or to say their names out loud to yourselves or to others in the room. And for those who are in person with us, please feel free to share their names aloud or in your heart as my hand passes over your section.
Rick Spiegel and Adrian Brown.
My sister Jeannie Allen. Cindy Boswell.
For all those names that we've said aloud and those that we keep in our hearts, we sing the words of Misha Beirach, which can be found on page 371. Misha Beirach, Avotenu, continue on page 586 with the words of Aleinu. Please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teis gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. As we read the names of our loved ones who have passed during this past week, month, and during this time in years past, please rise as your loved one's name is called. Alexandra Lee Turetsky, daughter of Matthew Turetsky and Jessica Alsofrum. We are observing the yahrzeit of Celia Barenbaum, mother of Babe King, Louis Elephant, brother of Betty Rogoff, Shlomo Ruskin, remembered by Carol Schneider. We invite all who are observing their first year of mourning to rise at this time. And now we rise as a full community, supporting all of our mourners. And we say, Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We are on page 598. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemayim, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. Oseh shalom b'mromav, pleasure to invite up Janice Fontano to help us with our announcements.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.
If you have not already, please remember to reply to the Reconnection survey referred to in Rabbi Zoe's Rosh Hashanah sermon. Your input will help us determine our priorities for the upcoming year. The link to the survey can be found on our website's home page. There will be a Sukkot Yitzker service on Zoom Sunday, September 26th at 10 a.m. As has been announced, we are resuming multi-access activities. For those planning to join us in person, TBT COVID guidelines for in-person attendance require pre-registration, proof of vaccination, and mask wearing. If you've already submitted proof of vaccination to Mara, you don't need to do so again. If you haven't yet, please email a copy of your card to her at the time of registration. And WTB is having a multi-access Sukkot study session Saturday, September 25th at 10:30 a.m. Please contact Cheryl Cohen to register for it. And save the date for a WTBT event sponsored by Women of Temple Beth Torah on Sunday, October 17th. Details will be coming soon. Join us for Temple Beth Torah's multi-access Simcha Torah event Monday, the 27th at 6:30 p.m. What better way to celebrate another opportunity to read our favorite book than through song, dance, and a little reading. We will be joined by musicians Joe Siegel, Dave Mackauer, and Michelle Eisenbrook. High Holiday Prayer Book return times have been scheduled for this Sunday, the 26th, from 10 until 12. Wednesday, October 13th, from 5 to 7 p.m., and Thursday, October 21st, from 1 to 3. And you can also call to make an arrangement to drop them off. The TBT Yitzker Memorial Book is available for viewing from the High Holidays information page. Torah Study is resuming. Join Rabbi Zoe Sunday, October 10th at 11 a.m. in the social hall. This will be a multi-access event. And next, TBT is committed to standing with Afghan refugee families. Please visit our social action page for information on and direct links to volunteering your time, donating relief funds, and making purchases from Amazon wish lists through various Jewish organizations. It's all on the page. I welcome you to go and visit. Thank you to all our members and friends who have already donated to the Alameda County Food Bank for the High Holiday virtual fundraiser. According to this note, we're at 109% of the goal.
Woo!
However, you can still donate for another 6 days or so, so let's surpass what we have up there now. And thank you to Lori Ravenscroft for representing the worship committee tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. What a soulful reading of our announcements. Thank you. Okay, we keep the soulful spirit going this Shabbat with some blessings for family and loved ones. So reach out to someone you care about or hold them in your heart. And we will say, may God bless you and keep you. May God shine God's face upon you and be gracious to you. May God's face turn to you and grant you peace, to which we say, Amen. Amen. And now we bless a little sweet drink of perhaps of the grape variety. If you are at home and you need to grab your grape juice or your wine or your guava juice or whatever else that you're blessing, as long as it's not water, I'm giving you 3.5 seconds. 2, 3.5. Okay, and we will begin our blessing. If you would like to see the words, they are on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzevanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Misraim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. Every time, you guys. Every time. Okay. And for our motzi, we will bless this cute little piece of bread. Look how cute it is. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. Shabbat Shalom. And
Shabbat
to
Shalom.
close out our evening, we will sing those exact words. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.